Hollywood Today Live, coming to you from the iconic corner of Hollywood and Vine. I'm Kristen Brockman here with Amanda Salas, and today's guest is an old friend of ours. Not that old.
Not that old. Hey.
Of course not.
Easy.
Not that old. He's a face you can recognize if you watch the show Castle, and this week he gets an episode all to himself. Take a look.
What is this, blood? What are we gonna do, spray him with it?
Drone strikes that he's support kill innocent children.
Detain him, get him out of here.
Please welcome Seamus Dever.
Thank you.
You're an old friend, not an old face.
Not an old face.
Thank you. Yes, it's good to be back here. That's what I think you meant.
Are you totally hungover right now? Because, you know, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day.
It was St. Patrick's Day.
You're an Irish guy.
I was home by 10, so.
Yeah, right.
I made bread.
Guinness?
I make an Irish bread. I had a couple Guinness.
With your name on the glass.
Yes, indeed, because it's at St. James' Place, and Gaelic for James is Seamus.
Seamus.
So it's very nice to have that.
You made some soda bread?
Made some soda bread. I made some wheaten bread. I made 4 loaves of it. I still have 2 loaves left. What am I going to do with all this bread? What am I going to do with it? Just hand it out in the streets.
Give it to your dog.
I should have brought some here. Hand it out to folks on Hollywood Boulevard and have some Irish butter.
Maybe that's why you're not hungover. The bread
It was
soaked up
the entire loaf of bread that I ate.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was.
You know, Seamus, you're supposed to give us some like hardcore Irish
oh, right.
St.
Like
Patrick's Day story.
Oh,
like
I have plenty of those, but I think I've put them in the past,
Yeah,
hopefully, because I don't really remember them. If you know what I mean.
Then they were good.
Yeah, they were really good. I can't remember a damn thing.
Now you're a good hubby. You promote your wife because she makes good Irish coffee.
Yes, yes. We did a fun little thing on Instagram yesterday where we said it like an Irish coffee tutorial. Because a lot of people don't know the secret to a good Irish coffee.
What is it?
The secrets, there are 2 secrets. It is fresh cream, fresh whipped cream, not that BS in a can that you spray on anything like you get at a lot of bars. And the other thing they do at a lot of bars too is bad coffee. So good gourmet organic coffee and good organic whipped cream, fresh, that's nice and cold, and it's perfect. Yes, so those are my 2 secrets. So no Baileys.
Oh, okay.
Baileys is terrible. Never put Baileys in an Irish coffee.
From him,
it's a cheat. It's a cheat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Castle.
Yeah.
This episode, you're the star, baby. You're the star.
It's crazy. Oh, thank you. Every once in a while, I get these episodes that are sort of Ryan-centric, and this is my Ryan-centric episode for this season. So it was like an action film. It was crazy. I've never done so much damn running. I was running every single day. Like there's a chase scene in there that lasts a couple minutes, and I was running every single day. Now you think about that, and you're like, okay, logistically, oh, that's like this amount of time, but you know, no, you're basically running wind sprints. You're basically like in gym, but you're in a suit at the same time, so it's a lot of fun.
You have to look sexy while doing it.
Exactly. You have to look composed and sexy, kind of James Bondish.
What a sexy
but running.
cast, too. I mean, do you guys ever have Zoolander moments where you look around and go, we're really incredibly good looking?
We're incredibly good looking.
Yeah.
Well, and you said there's.
I don't get anything done because I'm just staring at myself all day long. It's amazing how good looking we are. No, it is a good looking cast. Yes, so we were
when you said
blessed
this episode has some good guest stars.
Yes. Let's see who. The coolest thing I thought was David Conrad. You remember him from Ghost Whisperer? I basically got to do this same thing on his show 7 years ago on Ghost Whisperer. We hung out a lot. We played squash on the episode, so we took squash lessons together. And I got to go know David pretty well. He's a nice Irish fella from Pittsburgh, where I went to school. So it came around where my brother-in-law basically shows up on this show, and he has a private security firm that is doing some work for a congressman. Anyway, so David came on and played my brother-in-law. So it's nice when you have little shortcuts like that, because, you know, TV, we don't have time to rehearse or build relationships or anything like that.
Force chemistry.
Exactly. So the fact that I knew David was actually a really nice gift, because it let the work sink in a little bit deeper than it would have.
Well, I have to say thank you to you because Seamus, who was one of the first guests we ever had in the studio, literally one of the first guests we ever had in the studio. And I told you then, my grandmother, my Mimi, is such a huge fan of Castle.
Yeah.
And I asked him if you would send an autographed picture to my grandma, and he did. He mailed it to her house, and he wrote, that she had a cool granddaughter on the photo.
Nice.
And my grandma is ecstatic and put it in her bedroom so she can
Every
see
day.
you.
See
So
this
if anyone out there has a grandma that watches Castle, just Seamus.
And I know you
grandmas.
do. Grandmas love Castle.
You're gonna be getting-
I'm trying to figure out why grandmas love Castle. Grandmas and moms love Castle. I don't understand
What
it.
do you think it
But they
is?
do. I think it's the mystery. I think it's the puzzle, putting the pieces together. You're watching, you're trying to figure out who the bad guy is, because you know the bad guy is one of those people that you met, but you don't quite know which one. So I think the mystery is what draws a lot of older folks.
But it's interesting because you guys have crazy fans online, and I know my grandma's not tweeting, so
You should get on,
gotta have
she should get
some
on
younger.
Twitter. What's up? What's up, Mimi? What's up? Get on
No.
Twitter. What's
Mimi.
going on?
I'm still trying to help her work the VCR, you know?
And then you're like, they don't even make VHS tapes anymore.
I know.
Why do you still have a VCR?
You're
It's
big-
reliable. I'm not going to
Has
get
been.
rid of this one till it just goes kerplunk.
You're big with that demographic. You're also big
We are.
with the animal community. You support the Best Friends Animal Society, which is great because I donate to them as well. So good for you. And you're a vegetarian.
Yeah.
You really support the animal.
I think there's an animal, sort of lover that's something that draws me towards these charities. I try not to get spread too thin, but there's so many that need help. So you sort of find yourself, oh yeah, sure, I'll go host this, or I'll go do this, or I'll donate this thing. So it's one of those things that that's kind of near and dear to my heart and my wife's heart as well. So yeah.
Just a good guy, animal lover, grandma
Shucks.
lover. And you have a new film,
Yep.
The Extraordinary Farewell.
Yeah.
And you play a magician.
I do. I play the world's most famous magician. It's 1950, and it's a man who's basically a shell, a husk of a human being, because he has given a part of his soul for his magical abilities, and now sort of the piper comes a calling, and now he sort of has to work himself out of the deal. So it's a kind of a classic Faustian tale that we're telling, but in the realm of magic in the 1950s.
Were you
So-
into magic before?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of magician friends. I think it started in college. I went to college with a well-known magician, and I was always trying to get him. What's this guy named Eric Buss? He's been on Letterman. He's
cool.
a member of the Magic Castle. You might know him. He does he does a trick with a pogo stick that's really funny. He does a bubble wrap bike. His big thing is snakes that pop out of cans. So I went to a lot of his magic shows because he became a good friend of mine in college. Because like, what is a magician going to go to college for? Well, I guess theater, right? Why not? So Eric kind of got me into that, and then as a course of that, I've met a few other magicians. A guy named Derek Hughes, who's hilarious, does a show down in Santa Monica every week. Anyway, so yes, magic is something that I've always found mystifying, particularly the close-up stuff, because you look for it, you're like, I can see the trick. They're 3 feet away, and then it happens, and then you say, damn it, I was looking at it the whole time. How did it happen right in front of my eyes? So yeah, I find it kind of mystifying, as do a lot of people.
And this film is being funded or was funded.
Yeah, we're doing
Indiegogo.
We're doing a crowdfunding campaign for it. We just passed 100K yesterday. So
Yay!
huge. Thank you. Yeah. Well on our way to 250K. So we're working our way towards that. We have a lot of Castle fans, a lot of fans of White Collar, because Marsha Thomason from White Collar, she's my co-star in it. And so we're working our way towards it, to do it on our own kind of thing where we don't have to compromise and look for outside funding. So it's one of those things. I've never done a crowdfunding campaign, so this has been very
100K?
interesting.
Do you believe in magic? Because I do. After
It's crazy,
hearing
right?
that. Okay.
It's crazy.
Get
Without any
it.
huge stars or anything, just me and Marsha. So yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, it's very interesting.
Awesome. Can't wait to see it. So happy to have you back.
Yay.
From one of our first guests to one of our newest guests. I know we're going to have you back again.
I'll be back. I'll be
Third
back.
time's a charm.
Third time's a charm, right? The trifecta.
And just remember, Mimi's always watching.
All right, I will.
Okay, Seamus Dever fans, make sure you check out the Indiegogo page for the Extraordinary Farewell. Help him meet, what, 250 next? That's what we want. Help him get that 250. And of course, you can watch Castle on Mondays on ABC. Seamus, you're the man. Thank you.
And for more exclusive sit-downs with your favorite stars, check out Hollywood Today Live on Bite Size TV.